So I'm just going to be kind of doing a little bit of a simple explanation on the differences between the different Lillebaby carriers. I have most of the carriers, and there are three main lines that are from newborn through toddlerhood, and that is the Complete, which I'll start with, then the Pursuit, and then the Serenity. And then there's also a wrap type style carrier that they have, and that's the Dragonfly, which I'll show quickly, and they also have ring slings. I'm not sure that those are currently available on the website, but you can find them used. And then they also have a toddler carrier, which is the CarryOn, which I'll show that as well really quickly. But first is the Complete line. So this is kind of their standard carrier. It has two positions, narrow, which you can see. It just is a narrow by snapping that into place. And then it has the lumbar, and I'll show you what wide looks like. So this is the organic Complete. It's just one of the other lines. It's an organic cotton instead of the regular cotton on the general. And this one is a dyed. They don't come like this. It was dyed. But this is the cotton, and as you can see, it is in wide seat. So these are through the waistband and snapped into place here and here. So that's what wide seat looks like. Now most of the Completes will have this decent sized pocket here on the front, and then they also have this little one on top, and a hood attaches here. You can fold that hood into there. I'll show you with this one. The hood is attached, so you can just kind of fold it into that top pocket to get it out of the way if you want. All of the Completes have this same, actually the Completes, Pursuits, and Serenity all have the same type of headrest, and it just comes up into place. And then they all have a lumbar support, but it is slightly different on the Pursuit and Serenity. So this is what a classic the Complete lumbar looks like. It has two loops. If you're extra petite and it's not fitting well, you can just take it out of one of them. I prefer to actually take it out completely and put it through, sorry, I'm getting it all mixed up. Put it through here so that it can kind of fold, you know, overlap a little bit more, and it allows for even more petite wearer to use this without any issues, and it goes to a much smaller size. Most Lillebaby carriers have these two-way tightening on the shoulder strap. This is similar between all of the lines, and it does remove so that you can do it as a cross in the back, or if you're hip carrying. So this is an organic. This is a just standard Complete Galaxy dyed. And then this is the All Seasons. So you can see it has a mesh inside. It does have the lumbar as well. I just have them off on some so I could see them in different ways. And then with all of the All Seasons on any of the carrier lines, this is what it looks like. It is just a zip down panel right here in the front. Hopefully you can see that even with the black fabric. It's a little less easy to see sometimes. But you just fold this up and it snaps into place, and then you have a mesh. I don't know if you can see that, but it is, you can kind of see through it a little bit maybe, but it is mesh. It goes all the way through and it just makes it a little more breathable. So that is the difference between the all seasons and the other other options that they have. All of the all seasons have this zip down panel. But one reason I don't love the all seasons as much, even though it is great for different weather, is that you then only have this one tiny little pocket, which I'm not personally a fan of. I really like having roomy pockets and not having to carry a purse. But a lot of people love how easy it is to make it a warmer carrier for the winter, or to drop that panel down and have a little bit cooler for baby in the summer. And then lastly, for the completes, this is the embossed. Now I did dye this, so this is not something you can purchase. It originally came solid white, has all of the typical key features. And something I didn't mention, all of these, the chest clip, it moves. So you can easily move that up or down depending on where you'd like it, so where it's comfortable for you. But the difference with the embossed is that the material is super easy to wipe down, and it's kind of soft. It's not a cotton, it is a very different feeling. And then the inside is a super soft kind of microfiber. And it is a really cozy carrier. I don't know if you can kind of see the texture, but it is very soft. It's nice for newborns. A lot of people love this for a newborn because it's just so soft and cuddly. It's also really nice in colder weather. It can be a little warmer feeling. I don't love wearing it in the summer as much because of that warmer. I typically prefer an airflow, which I do have an airflow in the Serenity, so you'll get to see what the airflows often look like. And then next is the Pursuit line. So there is a Pursuit all seasons. I do not have that. I have the Pursuit Pro and the Pursuit Sport though. So some of the key differences. This is the Pursuit Pro. Now, this is the only one that I'm aware of that is a complete Pursuit or Sport that does not have a clip to clip the headrest down. You can fold it up and put it, you can fold that headrest down and put it into this little pocket that's right here on the top. So that is different. There's no clip. Or snap, I guess. And it also does not come with a hood. So if you really love having a hood for sun protection, the Pursuit Pro does not have that. However, this is one of the most comfortable carriers just from the fabric. It is kind of like wearing a pair of leggings. That's often what it's compared to. It is just super stretchy, like I don't know if you can tell, but like, it's just super stretchy, and it's soft, it's cozy feeling. The mesh on the inside is pretty soft for your baby. It's all around a really nice carrier. The only thing with the Pursuit line that I'll mention is that if you are a very petite wearer, you will likely have some trouble wearing it with the lumbar. And that's because it is different than the completes. It doesn't have those two loops where you can take one out. It just has one, so that you have this awesome pocket. But if you're wearing really high up on your waist and you're very petite, you're likely not going to be able to wear this lumbar support and get it tightened properly. So that is something to consider if you're a very petite wearer. And then the only other thing is that for size is that the Pursuit Sport has a different buckle than any of the others. So this buckle is slightly different than any of the completes, Pursuits, or the Serenity, and you cannot add a waist extender. So if you are plus size and looking to get the Sport, just make sure that you fit within that range that it has, because you cannot add an extender onto it. It's a very similar design to the Pursuit Pro, and then it has a lot of extra pockets. So they both have, try and show this. So they both have this pocket up here, and then they both have larger pockets. If I can show this at all. They have larger pockets here on the front. This one has a couple on the front. It has that top one that I put the headrest into. It also has this little zippered one on top, and then it has a large zippered one on the side. You can see here, very roomy. And then this one again has that as well, and then they both also have these pockets on the waistband. And these are only accessible if you have it in wide seat. Okay, so it has been a few hours. I'm going to try and restart about where I was, but I might be a little off. I think that I was talking about the Pursuit Sport and Pro. I think I went over most of it, but the one last thing I wanted to go over is the waistband and lumbar support. The Pursuit Sport is a much, here, let me see if I can compare these. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but they're about similar size, but so if I have the waistband started, you can see that the Sport is just slightly shorter and thinner, but it is actually more rigid, whereas let me see if I can, so if you're holding it, if you can see that, it is a much more rigid material, that foam, and that's the same in the lumbar. It's much more rigid than a lot of the completes, and a lot more rigid than the Pursuit Pro. You can see that this one is very flexible in comparison. It's a lot softer feel, and the lumbar is as well. It's not as stiff as the Pursuit Sport. So if you're looking for a carrier for an older toddler or just a heavier baby, I personally would go with the Pursuit Sport. But if you're just looking for the coziest option and you don't plan to hike or wear for really long periods of time, the Pursuit Pro is a really good option. And then the Serenity is the other main soft structured carrier line. It differs from the Pursuit and Complete. The biggest difference is the seating positions. It has little snaps here and then Velcro, and you can change that from narrow, like the Completes and Pursuits have a narrow, but then you can also do middle and wide, and it's all with this Velcro and snaps. So there are a couple reasons I really like that. A, you get that middle seat, which allows you to back carry earlier and also hip carry, but it also, for me, it just allows you to get a better seat, even if you just plan on forward facing until a year old anyways. I find that being able to have that middle seat with a baby that is between 6 to 12 months just provides a much better support. So I really like that. Also, the Serenity line has this extra pocket on the waistband, which I love. I love that pocket. Super handy. It has all of the main features the same. The difference between the Pursuit Sport and the Serenity line is that the hood just snaps on and off. It's really easy to go on and off. Whereas a Complete, I'll show you the Complete. So the Complete, it is removable, but you have to do this. You have to thread it through and remove it and then thread it back on properly when you want to use it again. So the Completes are a little more difficult to get the hood on and off, and the Serenity and Pursuit Sport, it's very simple to get on. Another key difference with the Pursuit, or no, sorry, the Serenity Line are these PFAs. They're called Perfect Fit Adjusters. They allow you to tighten this up, and it just pulls baby up a lot higher, which is really nice for very petite wearers. It allows you to bring that panel up a bit higher if you have these all the way tightened and you just need a little bit more. The other thing is, I do not have the lumbar on it currently. I have the Lillebaby tummy pad, but it allows you to overlap more than you can with any of the other carriers because it has tightening on both sides. So you have this extra space where it can overlap on both sides. So for a petite wearer, I find this is the best carrier because you still get that lumbar pocket, which is really awesome. I really love that option. But you don't have to take it off when you're really petite and you want to get it really snug on your waist. So this is overall my favorite of all of the carriers, and it really is just because of that seating position, the pockets, and having the ability to tighten it so much more. This is also the most versatile for size, like most size inclusive. It goes to the most petite It goes from the most petite to the largest size straight out of the box. It goes up to a 28, whereas a lot of the other carriers go to a 22, 20, maybe a 24, but often a 20, 22. So this one out of the box is a 28. You can still use an extender with this one, so you'd be able to extend that range if you are a plus size wearer. And then, like all of them, that moves. Yeah, it has the two-sided. You can cross the straps in the back just like any of the others. But that is the last of the three main soft structured. So this is called the Essentials, and it is their most basic carrier for a soft structured carrier. It is mostly, I believe it was sold at Walmart. This is the All Seasons. So it has this large front zippered panel that you can roll down and have that exposed mesh if it's warmer, or you can have it up. And one thing that's nice about this is it kind of adds an extra pocket if you need it. But one of the downsides of this is that unlike the Pursuit Sport, Complete, Pursuit, or Serenity Line, you do have to use an infant insert. With the Serenity, Complete, and Pursuit lines, you do not need an infant insert. With this one you do, I believe, up to 15 pounds. So you do have to buy an extra piece for this. It otherwise doesn't have the traditional like Lillebaby headrest. It is just a solid panel up. It does go a little bit higher for the main panel compared to a Complete Pursuit or Sport, or Complete Pursuit or Serenity. The panel does, which is nice, and then instead of the snapped headrest that comes on and off, it has one that just clips into place with a little elastic, and you can use that to secure baby's head a little bit more. This is a nice carrier if you want something a little more simple and you don't want all of the features of the Serenity, Complete, or Pursuit line, but you like some of the key features like the two-way tightening. You want the super soft material and that really nice waistband, and then they also have some really cute prints, so that is a plus too. But this is the Essentials. And then this is kind of a soft structured carrier, but it has a panel, which is a hard seat. So this does not move. It is a hard seat for baby to sit on. This also allows for early back carry and hip carry. And then it is probably the most comfortable carrier to forward front face your baby. And they're actually sitting on something, which it just is really easy to get a good seat for your baby. And then you can remove this upper panel, so you literally just have a hip seat, or you can also remove this panel and it then functions more like a traditional soft structured carrier. And it does also come with an extender for when your little one is a toddler. And this only, at the time I'm making this, comes in the all seasons. So it has that zip down front panel, and then I believe, yeah, so this is the extender. And it snaps, and then it goes through here. And if you can see, it just provides a little bit more to that seat for your older kids so that their legs aren't hanging off the panel. And then you also have this amazing large pocket. That's probably one of the best, well, okay, forward facing and the hip carrier are the best, but then this pocket is super handy. And it is one of the reasons that I don't care that this is an all seasons, because normally I hate this little pocket, but you don't really need it with this one because you have this giant pocket where the seat panel is, and you can use this pocket with or without the seat panel. So this is a very versatile carrier. You can use it in a lot of different ways. My only complaint is as a very petite wearer, I find it very uncomfortable. I don't think it's just for very petite wearers. Some people, it just hits the bones a little off. But if I wear it as a soft structured carrier without the panel, it's incredibly comfortable. It's just with that hard seat in it, it just doesn't hit me quite right. And then as a very petite wearer, it is very difficult to get this without folding it, which they do not recommend. So you have to kind of try and get it around your body as much as possible. And this part is just kind of, it's hard to get it tight enough, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So depending on your size, so just for reference, I'm about a size 0, 25-inch waist-ish, depending on the day. And that is where I'm like right at the border of having issues where I need to work a little more. I also found that using a thicker neoprene belly band underneath this helped to add a little bit of bulk, or wearing a nice thick coat, which isn't always the best option. So that's just if you need to add a little bit more to get a comfortable fit. But overall, I think it is a really versatile, good carrier. It has all of the things that I love about the Lillebaby, like the headrest, the hood, and the multiple ways to tighten. You can also cross the straps on this one in the back if it's more comfortable for you. So yeah, all around, pretty awesome carrier. It's just a little less size inclusive because you cannot add a waistband extender to this, and for those who are really petite, you might find it a little bit tricky to get it wrapped on really nice and tight like you want it, so it's not moving around on you. And then I think the last, oh no, so I should have gone with this one first, but this is the Lillebaby CarryOn. It's a little dirty because my toddler decided to smash a pear into it while having a snack. But this is a CarryOn. It is a significantly higher panel. It also has a wider base. I'll try and hold up hopefully this will help. But I don't know if you can see that, but it does come out a bit more. And then if I can get the panel height. So with the Lillebabies, that's one other thing, is you can just have the hood up to, or sorry, the headrest up for toddlers so that that panel height is at a safe height. But with the CarryOn, it just comes a bit higher so that you don't have to worry about your panel height, and it also just kind of helps to distribute the weight a little better. So if I line those up, this is about how much more panel height there is, if you can see that. So it's a good, this much. I don't know what that is, maybe 6 inches, 5 inches. But it is really great for toddlers. It's more comfortable for my toddler and my husband, who's the one that wears her most. I usually wear a younger toddler. So our 1.5-year-old is not in this yet. This typically fits between about a 2T pant size. Our almost 3-year-old, this fits great though. And it is very similar to the Lillebaby, the other Lillebaby lines. It has the pockets, the mesh. This one's all mesh. And it has like this nice roomy pocket on the front like a lot of them. It does come with a hood that is similar to the completes. You have to thread it through. And then it comes with the ability to remove this. You can do front, inward facing, hip, or back carry. Those are your 3 options with the Lillebaby CarryOn. And then it also comes with the lumbar support, but you can also purchase a belly band if you want to. If you're mostly going to be back carrying, it can be a little more comfortable, especially if you're doing longer hikes or if you just don't like the look of the lumbar support in the front. And lastly, well, I guess not lastly, almost lastly, this is the LllLight. So it is a tie waistband. It was more designed for petite parents in mind, and I think they had heard, that a lot of petite parents weren't feeling like the completes pursuits fit as well, so they wanted something that was a lot more lightweight and just potentially a better fit for really petite parents. But it does go up to, this might be wrong, but I think about a size 20, maybe even slightly larger. So it's not only for very petite parents. It is a great lightweight carry that you can use from newborn up to, I'm not going to give a pound rating because I don't even remember. But it goes up quite a ways. I can still wear my 1.5 in this, and honestly, I could wear my 3-year-old in it. I just don't find it comfortable for heavier babies personally. So this for a newborn through that first year is really awesome. It's super easy, like, just tie it on. And then you put your baby in, and these just go over. And then you've got your baby in there, and you can tighten. It does provide a little more room that you can't tighten. The way the panel's designed, you can't tighten it in. It would be great if I had little adjusters here and here to kind of cozy in a newborn's head more. And that, I think, is the only downfall to this carrier, which maybe they will fix. But I found when my baby was a little bit older, a couple months old, they really loved having a little bit more space for their head and not feeling like they were glued to me. So it does have a pretty decent high panel, and because of the material, you can actually back carry at 6 months, I believe, as long as your baby has all of the head support and things like that. They can back carry at 6 months. You don't have to be as worried about, you can have the panel scrunching up a bit, whereas you can't with the other carriers because of how rigid the fabric is. It will push the baby's leg out and overextend it. That doesn't happen with this carrier, so you can have legs out, I think 7 pounds, pretty early right off the bat, and then you can also wear them with an infant pillow and have their legs in and in more of a fetal position. It also comes with a hood that just clips into here, and it's just a really beautiful, simple carrier. But again, I would stick to this for the first year. I don't think I'd personally, I know I personally don't wear it much after the first year. It was great for the first year, and after mine got pretty heavy, I wanted her on my back all the time, and this you can only wear crossed. So crossed in the front isn't necessarily as flattering, so it wasn't my go-to. I went for the Serenity most of the time until mine was 1, and then I started looking at more options. And the very last one that I have, ring sling. Lillebaby does, or at least did, make ring slings. So this is just a traditional ring sling. I mean, you got your rings, you got your tail. Sorry, I'm tired, so my words aren't working. And you just, you know, thread it like you would a ring sling. They have a little pocket that my toddler, of course, ran off with, but it kind of covers this and can provide a little bit more comfort when you're wearing it, but it also provides a little pocket, which is nice because most ring slings do not have a pocket. Compared to some other ring slings on the market, it is a very light material. I believe it's linen. Don't quote me on that. But it is extremely lightweight. It's nice and soft. I found as you wore it more, it got softer and softer. And they had some really pretty ones available. I got this, I have 2 Lillebaby ring slings, and I got both used. I'm not sure that they are currently carrying them on the website, at least when I made this video. But if you can find a used one and you just want a really nice lightweight ring sling that's great for the summer, or I mean whenever, but I did find some of my other ring slings from other brands were just a bit thick and heavy for the summer, and this one is awesome for the summer. It's really lightweight. So yeah, hopefully this video wasn't super overwhelming and it actually helped some. And if it did, I would love to hear what you thought. And I would love to have you subscribe and like the video. And if you have any specific questions about any of the carriers, or if you want some more in detail video on any of them, just leave in the comments and I will try to get to it as quickly as possible. But I have 2 toddlers, so sometimes that might not be in a few days, it might be in a few weeks. But alright, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. Bye.